Hello, everyone, and welcome to the It Just Works podcast. I'm your host, Ryan, and today is a special episode. Today, I'm not 30 yet. I turned 30 when this comes out, so I'm recording this at 9 p.m., July 21st, and I turn 30 tomorrow. That's when this episode is releasing. So I wanted to do a special birthday episode, kind of following up with one of the questions that Eric gave me 3 months ago and where I want to be when I'm 30, and then some questions from a few listeners. So shout out to them. I'm recording by myself. Why is the video freezing? I'm really excited to record this episode tonight. I've been kind of lazy all day. I've just started my vacation for work. It's kind of a staycation, to be completely honest, but I was just trying to take some time off. And I kind of did nothing today, besides obviously hanging out with my cousin Sal. Shout out to Sal's Halls. Sal's Halls, all the balls, #1 hauling company in the country. And then I was hanging out with my nephew and niece. So that was awesome. But after that, man, shit kind of slowed down. I took a nap and then went to In-N-Out and kind of just did some writing. So what have I been up to? I just had a manager seminar the last couple days down by the beach area. That was fun. It was awesome. Just a lot of incredible information gained there. And it was nice to enjoy different weather because it's been hot as hell. And so yeah, that was a lot of fun. Met a lot of really cool new people. Shout out to any of them if they ever listen to this or watch this. They know who they are. Just absolutely incredible people. From Washington, Colorado, Hawaii. Hawaii was a big one. The whole Hawaii crew was extremely fun and down to earth. So shout out to them. But yeah, that was great. Work's been good. All of the sales reps are selling cases and making me proud. Shout out to them. Love my job to death. It's been amazing. It's been a really good couple of weeks. I'm going to see Oppenheimer today because, like I said, I'm recording, or this is coming out the day of my birthday. I'm going to hang out with Brandon and Trevor and go to the driving range, practice on my swing because I haven't golfed or practiced in a couple of weeks now. Really looking forward to that. Don't know what I'm doing tonight. I'm supposed to hang out with some friends, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully that still goes through. And you can go to Top Golf on Monday, so that's gonna be fucking sick. And then probably record an Oppenheimer podcast on Sunday. So yeah, life's been great. I've been playing a lot of Halo. Shout out to all the Halo friends I've been playing with. It's been pretty sweet to kind of just play Xbox with people again. The lighting right now on this is terrible, but if you listen to this audio, then more power to you. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been up to. Not going to watch Barbie yet. I still do want to see it, but I'm going to wait for a little bit. If I don't see it in theaters, then I'll for sure watch it when it comes out on streaming. So we'll see how that goes. Been watching Marvel's Secret Invasion. I think Marvel needs to stop making TV shows because it kind of I thought this show started off really good. And then it's just kind of what the fuck are we doing here kind of thing. And I feel like they always run into that. So that's been kind of annoying. Still haven't watched The Bear season 2. I thought season 1 was amazing, damn near perfect. And it sounds like season 2 is pretty much there as well. So hopefully going to check that out soon. A lot of Comic-Con stuff coming out today for Mortal Kombat, a lot of Mortal Kombat 1, a lot of new characters, Invincible season 2 trailer that's coming back. There's going to be The Continental on Peacock, which is a prequel to the John Wick movies. Just a lot of stuff going on in pop culture. A lot of good music out there. Silent Planet released a new single called Antimatter, and it's like a cyberpunk metalcore song. It is legit, and I think those guys are onto something, and I hope the new record is just basically all songs that are similar to this. Obviously different enough to not just feel like a waste of time, but those guys are excellent. Just a lot of good songs, but I think that's the song of the week. Let's go with that. So that is Antimatter by Silent Planet. Please go check it out. If you haven't done that, then what are you doing with your life? Yeah. So as I said, we have a follow-up and then some new questions from Jarrett, Brandon, and Priscilla. So let's start off with a follow-up. So Eric asked, where do you want to be when you turn 30? Which was 3 months ago now. So just a little over 3 months, because I recorded that the very, very beginning of April, I think. So I said that I wanted to lose 30 to 45 pounds, which is crazy. The 30 pounds isn't, but 45 is pretty crazy. because I've done the 30 pounds before in 3 months. I did it last year, but this year I did not. I've only lost 15, and that's been fluctuating back and forth. We'll go into it. I said that I've lost 15 pounds, and I said that I wanted to lose 30 to 45. And I said, honestly, I've just come to the terms with it in the last like couple days, in general, but definitely the last few days. I think losing weight's the hardest thing I'm ever going to have to do in my life as of right now. It's just been extremely hard for me. It's not easy, and it's something that I really do find difficult. Thankfully, like drinking water, and trying to be more consistent with that has been something that I am picking up on. So I'm pretty happy about that. But all around, definitely need to make an even stronger effort to lose weight, no doubt. But it's just been so hard. I've already talked about it on here, and it probably will come up again today. Just like, those bad habits and trying to reverse them, trying to make up for 29 years of just terrible habits as a kid and as a teenager and then adult. No one's fault but my own, but they are ones that need to be worked on, no doubt. So hopefully we'll do another 3-month check-in. So yeah. So October 22nd, the day, I think it's the day before Miles' birthday. That weekend or whatever that week is, we will do another weight follow-up. I think that would be really cool if I got under a certain amount that I'm thinking right now in my head, I'd be really happy. So we'll see what happens there, because that's right when the holidays start, and that's when it gets really bad. So definitely want to do better around the holidays this year and not have like 2 or 3 plates of food. Just, I don't know. I think that's like the biggest challenge. Like right now when I go to restaurants, I'm like, oh, I want to try this. I want to try that. You just don't need to try all that. Pick something and come back another time. Like, I think that's like something that I really need to work on. So I'm excited to work on that. And the other thing that I put, which is a huge win, and I'm really excited to talk about it. I said at the time when I recorded that last episode where I talked about this, I said that I hope I get the opportunity to apply for a district manager position. And as we all know, not only did I get the opportunity, I interviewed and got the job. So that's just remarkable. And I love everything about that. That just makes me so happy to go back and listen to that episode and see where I'm at now, which is what we're going to continue to do as we wrap up this question. Next up was, I said that I wanted the podcast to be better and growing constantly. And I did say at the time that like every episode I get like, maybe a couple extra listeners. Still kind of in the same boat, but I feel like it's more stagnant right now than it was before because I'm not promoting it properly. Like I was telling Saul that the last episode I did with Eric where he's talking about his trip in Japan, I should have promoted that like 3 times. I only posted about it once, and it's just not good. It's like a disservice to the episode 2 and like him being on, and anyone else who's been on. Like, they spent their time to be on the show and talk about their experience, whatever it may be. I think they deserve to be listened to or watched more, if there's a video format. So I think moving forward, that's something I should work on immediately. Because I think the quality right now has been pretty solid. It's always going to need to get better. There's no such thing as perfect, but I am very happy with like actually writing down. So like you guys might see it. Yeah. So like I actually wrote stuff down. It's a lot longer than that too. But I'm definitely trying to take a more serious approach to the quality. Maybe not like jokes and stuff, but I mean like the actual writing and stuff. I need to like double down on the writing and making sure that it's better. So that's kind of the follow up to that, is making sure the quality is better. And I feel like I think I did reach a higher quality in the last couple episodes, and hopefully this one as well. Hopefully you guys agree with that. Next up is, I essentially said that I hope I'm a better person today than I was when I recorded that episode. It says Just Working It Out 25. If you want to go back and listen to it. Pretty emotional episode. I recorded the day after a breakup, so you know how that goes. But yeah, I think I'm a way better person today. I think and it's kind of something that I really was really happy about, is the fact that the person I was then is not the person I am right now. My mindset's different. My outlook on life's different. My goals and my attitude and my drive are way different than the person that was right there. And I'm just like blown away by that because I've never really assessed myself in like a time period like that. So like the podcast has essentially helped me do that. And while I have a good amount of things to work on, I'm not denying that, I am happy with who I am now. Like I haven't been buying myself a bunch of shit. I honestly like, I think it's been 3 or almost 4 weeks now since I've like spent stupid money on shit. Actually it was literally the first week of July. So like I'm really happy about that because I don't want to waste money. I want to bank as much money as possible so I can get my own place, and I could right now, but you know, we'll see where things go. I think I talk about that later in the episode too. So yeah, that's the final follow up to like Eric's question of like where you want to be when you're 30. I do think I'm way better off now than I was then. Being in this role and having the opportunities I've had with work have changed me already for the better. Like I just feel so much more motivated and driven and just determined to do as good as possible. And some days it doesn't feel that way necessarily, or like maybe I'm tired or something, or I just creatively just not there, whether it's measuring something for work and like analyzing it and it starts sounding like I'm talking about work, but I kind of am. Just like coming up with goals and seeing ways that we can grow the business. Like that's like the biggest thing for me I've been told is like, you're here to grow the business overall, not just a little bit. So it's across the board in the whole area. Like what can we do to make it better than it was before? So not every day is perfect, but I'll tell you what, it's pretty damn close. And I'm very grateful for that. So yeah, that's it for the follow-up. So now let's jump into questions leading to 30th birthday. Jarrett says, happy birthday, Ryan. Thank you, Jarrett. I appreciate you so much. His first question is, looking back, are you satisfied with the way you've lived through your 20s? So I think this is a fantastic question. And I am satisfied with the way I lived through my 20s, but there's no doubt there are things I'd do differently. And so Jarrett has like a couple like sub questions to the question. So we'll keep answering that. I promise to not be vague. The second part of that is like, is there anything you would change if you could go back and relive your 20s? If so, what and why? I think I'd change my perspective of what adulthood means to me. I feel like I coasted and I was complacent to be where I'm at today instead of growing into someone more mature. Like I feel like literally in the last like year and like 8 months, I finally go like some light bulb like turned on in my head. I'm like, oh, okay, like that's what I want to do. Or like that's where I want to be, or like this is who I want to grow into. Like, so it took me almost my entire 20s to figure out like who I want to be and what path I could take that, you know, makes that person real. So I hope I answered that correctly, but there is more to it. So I put that I'd change interactions I had with others to be more positive or straightforward. I didn't really like lie, but I feel like I always could have like treated people better. And those relationships I had, and this is, and I'm referring to like literally like 20 through 24, maybe 25. I'll say like 20 through 25. I feel like I could have been a better person, and I wish I was, but we'll jump into that. I said I wish I did more with others, whether it be events, concerts, trips, even friends' weddings. One's more very recent, but there's one friend who like she met her husband through like the music I put on her like iPad, or I'm sorry, iPod back in high school. And you know, like they met because of me, or because of me putting the music, because of me putting the music on her thing. And like, you know, obviously she was a fan of them and stuff, and she wanted me to be at her wedding. She wanted me to ordain it or be the minister because I'm an ordained minister, and I backed out of both. And I regret that because she's just a wonderful human being, and so is her family and her siblings, because I knew her brother first. Just an incredible group of people that I should have supported better. But I feel like I really became a hermit crab once I moved in with my grandparents. So my grandpa had 4 heart attacks in 2015, 2016, I think 2016, 2017. No, 2016. We'll just say that. So he had 4 heart attacks and he survived. And I think like a month after he was out, or not even a month, I think that same month, like my grandma asked me to move in with him to help take care of him and like help her out as much as possible. And I did that. But I think doing that with my graveyard shifts at Sprouts at the time, I allowed myself to just be like this hermit crab. And I just think it was a mistake. It's no one else's fault. I think it's all mine for sure. But I think there's no doubt like that was a mistake on my end, to allow myself to just be so stagnant in the sense of like not going anywhere or not doing anything. People invited me to a ton of shit and I just didn't take advantage of the opportunities. And oh well, it is what it is. But I make sure and say that it's no one's fault but mine, of course. Jarrett's asked to go with that final, like part 3 of that question is, how would it make a difference in today, in the future of your entering your 30s? I think I'd be different and like more adventurous. I'd be a more adventurous person. I think I'd be doing a lot more in terms of like exploring or just going out and going trips and stuff. But I also believe I wouldn't even be here. Wouldn't be where I'm at currently with my job, my friends, my family relationships. And I put this because at the time I was really gung ho about like moving to Washington, maybe Idaho after I visited, or Colorado. Like I wanted to leave really bad. And the difference that it would have made is I would have done that. I would have left. But I'm really glad I didn't, because like I said, when it comes to like my job, my family, my friends, my coworker, like everyone I got in my life right now, like I'm really happy where I'm at in that regard. So, I wouldn't change it. I really wouldn't, and I think that's like something I was realizing today as I was writing all this stuff down is, yeah, there's a lot that you could regret or wish you could take back or wish you could change. But if you're happy with like who you are today, or you're growing to love who you are today, then none of those changes matter, because it molded us into who we are, which is kind of what I talk about in a bit. But Jared asked, who is Ryan Green? Does it in quotes. I like it. I put, can talk third person here, sorry. But I put Ryan Green is a kind, charming, nice, sensitive, emotional, outgoing, caring, and funny person. I think I could be funny sometimes with a dark sense of humor, no doubt. But yeah, I'm a very emotional and sensitive person. I am in touch with those. But it's in like the sense that like if I was to upset someone or truly offend someone or hurt someone by whatever I do or say, I would be devastated. Like I can't let that slide. I'm not saying they have to forgive me necessarily, but I would do whatever I can to, make sure that people knew that, or that person knew that I was wrong, and I acknowledged my mistake. But I understand that sometimes you can't be forgiven, or some people don't want to forgive. Not that I do any heinous shit, but still, it's something that I care about. And then Jared asks, why is Ryan the way he is? I am the way I am because of the way I was raised, and then I became an adult, and the world and the workplaces and the experiences I've had within those workplaces, I basically said have molded me into the person I am today, whether it's relationships, dating, work, the world, friends, just things I've experienced out and about. It's definitely like changed my perspective and made me who I am today, beyond the core values of what I was raised by my parents and grandparents and brothers and other elders. So Jared asks, what makes Ryan wake up in the morning and face life? Good question. I believe every day I wake up as a gift, since I could technically die in my sleep. I have severe sleep apnea. My dumbass was doing like really good the last couple weeks, and then all of a sudden the last day, or this week, I've been bad about the mask. I don't know why. But I could technically like die at any moment, or most of us can, but I'm just saying like the sleep apnea is that bad according to the doctors, and I believe it. Sleep apnea, you stop breathing. And Kaiser, because that's where I got my test done, they say like severe is like 33 apneas an hour, and my test had like 130 something. And I'm not making that up. Like that's what they told me. So that's a lot of time spent not breathing. And it's not like it's just breathing for a few seconds, but sometimes it can be dragged out. And I've heard some stories from either my ex-girlfriend or my family. So yeah, it's a little rough. Yeah. But I like to face life, or what makes me face life is to better challenge and improve who I am every day. I put that some days get the best of me, of course. I think it happens to any of us. Like, you're not guaranteed a good day every day. It's just about trying to make it a better day. If you do find yourself in that rut, something that brings you out of it and can make you happy and get through the night and get that rest you need to wake up for the next day and start over. Yeah, I don't know. I think about that shit all the time. The third parter to that is people in society are like water. The world is a vast body of water. A pebble thrown into the water breaks the surface and leaves a ripple. The ripple can become a bigger wave, or it can diffuse into nothing. Jared asks, Ryan, when you cast yourself into the body of water, how is the world a brighter place for people in your everyday encounters and interactions? I strongly believe I can bring a big wave of positivity and laughter and happiness because I want to make those around me happy, which is something I talked about in that 3-month or that April number 25 episode as well. Is I love to make people happy. I'm happy to be the light in the room, to break the silence, to break the ice, just to do something to maybe make someone smile. But I want to make those around me happier than the way they were before, even if it's just saying, hello, I hope you're having a good day. I legitimately believe these basic and fundamental social interactions could make the world a better place. I don't think fucking peace in the world, it's just not possible. Not everyone is going to agree on everything. But I do believe starting with that could probably lead to some good productivity. But I do believe it could be a better place if we cared enough to do it and smile at one another passing by. There's a lot of angry motherfuckers out there, or sad, depressed, unmotivated, complacent, lazy. There's just a lot of people out there who are unhappy. And I do believe it's important for the rest of us to help them out by at least saying good morning. I hope you have a good day. Seriously, I believe that. You can make fun of me, or you can tell me I'm wrong. I don't know. Let me know what you think of that. Number 3, with the previous question answered, what does the next 10 years of your life look like? I think this is a good one. I try to be more in the present, but I was talking to Saul about it today, how right now, I'm kind of like looking 2 years ahead. But I really do want to enjoy the present. You know, I just got into my position. I want to enjoy it as much as possible because, as I was telling Saul, I was talking to senior management at a manager seminar last month, and almost unanimously, everyone said like the role that I'm in right now is the one they miss the most. Socializing and being in the field with the reps, helping them out, growing the business, just being in the field. So I'm going to enjoy it while it lasts. But I did put, I believe the next 10 years of my life will be the best yet. I plan to be as successful and happy as possible through my current job, and then continuously working on my mental and physical health. I'm truly excited to see where I go from here. I am. I think my head's in the right place. I think I'm able to identify the things that I need to work on, the things that are maybe not so good about myself. It's tough. Like, it sucks. It sucks to like level with yourself and say like, what are we doing here? But like mentally, I want to be stronger, and I think I'm off to a decent start. And then physically, I just want to be healthier. I just want to be physically healthier and more active. And I don't know. Everyone should want that. Next up is, so he has like sub questions to the questions. What's missing? What's abundant? And what brings you purpose and meaning in life? So this is just me being honest. I'm not saying I have to have it, but I do miss being in a relationship. It's something I miss, if I'm being honest. But at the same time, how I just mentioned, I need to work on myself, and that's ultimately my priority. It really is. Like, that's number one, because I want to be the best version of who I am. And, you know, I think that's important for not only myself, those around me, but also for my next relationship whenever that day comes, or whatever happens to the previous one. You know, I lost sight of myself, and I allowed myself to do that. And it's just not right for those around me, but also myself, literally myself. So that's something that I really want to work on. And it's easy to lose track of yourself a little bit because you're dedicated to building a relationship and making it work and just being devoted to it. I think it's amazing. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but you don't make it easier if you're also losing yourself at the same time. That causes problems. So I'm like really excited to continue to hone in on what matters to me, and that's the future, and that's embracing the best of myself now. So I think it's really exciting, to be honest. Oh, I don't know what the fuck that was. I heard something. So what's abundant? I feel like I'm gonna answer this wrong, but maybe like I feel like I'm taking abundant as like what's something that's too much of that I'm doing, or like what am I doing wrong maybe? So I put fast food as abundant and annoying because it's a bad habit I'm trying to work on. Like eating like an idiot because it's holding me back. And I literally said I hope I answered that correctly. So like I said earlier with the restaurant and stuff, I'll look at the menu and go, all right, cool, that appetizer looks good, the entree looks good. Let's get both. Like, no, like unless I love sharing food. So like if people share the appetizer and have a little bit of it and they're like everyone fucking goes for it, cool. But I just need to stick to a more simpler order. I don't need to try everything on the menu. Like I said earlier, just fucking go back, try something different. So, yeah, man, I just don't get it the way I operate. It's something weird. And like I said earlier, the water is helping me kind of level that out a little bit. And I've been fasting a lot. I fast every morning. Didn't today because I wanted a nice breakfast with my family. But I fast until 10 a.m. every day. So I literally just drink water. And the more water I drink, so I have a gallon jug that I've talked about, I think. The more water I drink helps me out quite a bit. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Very excited to continue to work on that. The treadmill's been great. I want to get a punching bag. Shout out to my friend Derek. He recommended a punching bag. So I'm like, I'm going to look into that. Yeah, physical health. I'm like really excited to see what I can do. And with it being so hot out here, like it's definitely more motivating too, to like drink water and just try to be healthier because you want to feel good too, because of all the heat. Cause you can notice it. Like if you stay hydrated as much as possible, the heat's a lot easier to tackle than most people think. Remember, I work in the desert. Like I think it was 116 on Monday. It was fucking rough. So, but I also put, or like, oh, what brings you purpose and meaning? But I put, my job, my family, my friends, podcast, the people I love in my life bring me purpose, but also my independence is what makes me happy. And what I mean by that is, like I can be by myself. I can hop in the truck, just put the windows down, put some music on, go for a nice little drive, whether it's going to wash the truck and then getting Chick-fil-A on the way back because it's a nice little route to go. Playing video games, writing music, playing the guitar, working out. I find a lot of solace in myself as well. Like I don't have to depend on others to be content. It just is nice to socialize and spend time with other people. So I put life is worth everything, and I want to embrace that ideology a little bit more. So yeah. To wrap things up on a higher note for Jarrett, he put, when is the next time you're going to eat Taco Bell? I think it's because he had it and I had it as well, like the night after him, and it just was terrible. I don't know, but if I'm being honest, I'll probably have it within a month potentially, because that place is like my favorite fast food guilty pleasure. Just so many memories of like going there when I was a kid with my mom or my family. And then when Eric was able to drive, he took me there when I was in middle school. We would go to Taco Bell, then go home and play Xbox. I'd go with my friends from high school, mainly go with Brandon as well. It's just a place I love. Like I've always loved the marketing. So when I was a kid in the 90s, they had the fucking Godzilla marketing with a Chihuahua. Like, hey, little lizard. Like I even had the little plush toy that fucking said it. It was funny as shit. Taco Bell's just always kind of been a thing for me. But my mom also told me, and I don't know, like, if people like buy into this stuff, but clearly it worked if it's true. My mom has said she had a shit ton of Taco Bell when she was pregnant with me. So thanks, Mom. But yeah, I love Taco Bell. My favorite item is the cheesy gordita crunch. The Enchiladas bomb if they have it. Sometimes they've been like bringing it back. Mexican pizza's good. The grilled cheese burrito is actually pretty good too. You can customize your shit on the app, so that's why I like to go there till this day, because I just use the app and I make things the way I want, so I don't have to fucking say it over the goddamn intercom and people go, what? Because I'm a dumbass and I like to change too much stuff. So yeah, I like Taco Bell. It's just sometimes, depending on how it's prepared, it sucks, but it doesn't mess me up like other people. Thanks, Jarrett, for all the questions. Now we got a couple from Brandon. What do you think you would have accomplished by the time you're 30? What did you think you would have accomplished? Straightforward. I thought I would have been married by now, have kids, have my own house, definitely lose a lot more weight or weigh a lot less than I do now, because that's something that I've been struggling with for like the last 10 years. I failed on that part, but we're going to pick it up in the 30s. And I said, and then I put probably some other shit tied to that. That's literally what I wrote. Question. Thanks to his girlfriend, Keely. She said, what's something you're proud of that you accomplished before you turn 30? I mean, it's so recent and it's like, hitting the nail on the head, but it's just the truth. Like becoming a district manager at my company was a huge deal to me. It was a dream of mine. It's something I've always wanted and I don't take it lightly. Like, I've been given the amazing opportunity and support to guide me in the right direction through Joe, Lauren, some of the reps in Temecula, just a lot of my peers all around me have supported me and guided me. If they ever saw a good opportunity for critique, but ultimately I showed up every day to hustle for those sales when I was a rep and conduct the interview for my position. And I'm happy as hell because I got the results. Like I got the job. And I take that very seriously. It's not something I take for granted, and I never want to. Brandon also asks, what's overrated or underrated about turning 30? So I think what's overrated is like that we're old now. Like I'm 30, man. I've heard a lot of people say that like their 30s were their favorite time in their lives. And I think it's probably true and I think that's why it's also underrated to be 30, because it's kind of who you are, which is what I said 2 or 3 months ago. Aziz Ansari's joke is once you turn 30, like that's who you are. And I think it's a really good joke because yeah, you've gone through so much. You've gone through childhood, teenage years, young adulthood, and like, here's where you're at. So I think it's like underrated to be in your 30s. I'm like, really, I feel like the next massive chapter of my life starts now. And I'm just fucking thrilled. I'm so thrilled. And trying to embrace it. Priscilla says, happy birthday. Thank you, Priscilla. I appreciate you. I've just been a fucking huge supporter since pretty much day one. But she said, what's your favorite birthday celebration ever? I mean, both questions you have are the same answer. It's my 21st birthday. And you said, do you have any wild birthday stories? So I don't have any wild ones, but my cousin Cheyenne has a wild one. She'll never hear this, but her 21st was fucking wild. In the sense that she just got torn the fuck up in Vegas. Just fucking thrown up and shit in the German place. Oh my God. Cheyenne, you're a klutz. But for me, it's not too wild, but I definitely drank more that night than I ever have in my life, either before and definitely now. From just the constant beers to the shots and cocktails, some wine, and then our friend Jay showing up in the parking structure in Riverside with a warm ass bottle of 375 mil or it was a 500 mil bottle of Jägermeister, warm Jägermeister, might I add. And I had to chug that in the parking lot, and I fucking did. Dude, I had so much shit. I don't know how I didn't get alcohol poisoning. I mean, I just don't know how much it takes, but I had so much alcohol. Like the next day I was torn the fuck up. I cannot believe I even went to school that day. I think I still have the picture too of like, I took a picture of myself sitting in front of a computer and I look so hungover. But that was the rule. Everyone told me that from when I was like 18 to finally turning 21. My brother's like, someone hands you a drink, no matter who it is, you got to drink it. and I fucking did it. We went to a gay bar. We went to like so many places. The gay bar was funny because we were the only ones there. And that's why I found it funny. I'm like, dude, no one's even fucking here. Like, that's how early we were like celebrating. I remember dancing and I fucking fell over. There's pictures of that, the way I looked. I had alcohol spilt all over me. I looked fucking done. And that was like 3 hours left in the night, I think, after that. Like, we kept going, obviously. So it's not wild. It's just a typical 21st if you celebrate it with alcohol and friends and family. But honestly, like, that's what made it wild for me, is that like everyone actually showed up. Like, so many of my closest family friends and, family members from, my older brothers, like we all have the same group of friends, thanks to them, mainly Eric. All of our friends showed up. I mean, it was just so crazy. It was so crazy. I couldn't be more grateful for all the pictures that I still have. And that's what I put too, is like, I still look back at the pictures sometimes and smile and laugh my ass off because the night was insane. And to wrap up the night, Chris had like some really nice Nikes on or something, or Jordans, and I fucking threw up on them. Yeah, my 21st was fucking crazy. I don't know I don't know if I'll ever drink that much alcohol again. It was something else. But yeah, that's it, everyone. I'm 30 years old, and I just want to say thank you so much for listening to this podcast, being in my life, being a part of my journey. You all mean the world to me. Nothing but love to all of you out there. I hope you have an amazing weekend. Stay safe, stay happy. If you ever need anything from me, please reach out to me at ItJustWorksPodcast on Instagram. Message me. My email is itjustworkspod@gmail.com. I'm on TikTok. If you have my number, you have my number. If you don't have it, and I know you, ask for my number. I'll make sure you get it. I talk to a lot of people about their personal struggles, and I feel like I'm a good listener, and I'm just happy to be there for all of you. So thank you guys so much. Like I said, I love you guys, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye.